real estate is such a huge part of our lives. We live in a home, we buy homes, we sell homes, we fix up homes, we rent homes, and real estate's at the center of all of that. And real estate's really been in the news a lot lately, especially with home prices being so volatile during the pandemic and people moving all sorts of places. But there's another side to real estate that is really starting to take hold. And this is the side of real estate that I work with and I love working with. And this is the side of real estate that is bringing healthier, more sustainable, better homes to the forefront. And there's a whole group of people out there that are trained to work with this and that know how to have this conversation with you as a buyer or seller or renter and can really help you find a home that's going to do better for you and the people that are living with you.
Living green or sustainably is about more than saving on your electric bill and doing your part to protect natural resources. It is about a safer and healthier life for you and your family without sacrificing style, quality, or budget. This is a movement to provide all of us with clean air to breathe and water to drink, safe, healthy food to eat, and places to live, and energy to run the places where we live, learn, work, and play. Join your host, Marla Esser Close, the Green Home Coach, to learn how everyday green homes work for you, your family, and your community.
Good day. I am Marla, the Green Home Coach, and I'm so excited today. I know I'm always excited, but I love being excited about the people that I get to introduce y'all to. And today I have Kari Klaus from Realty Sage and Ashley Rose Gonzalez. And I'm not going to get the name of your practice correct. So Ashley, I'm going to let you introduce yourself first, Ashley Rose, and tell us where you are and what you are all up to.
Awesome. My name is Ashley Rose. I am located in Boca Raton, Florida. I do service most of South Florida. I am a green realtor. I specifically green certified with the NAR, which is a real estate association where we actually get certified as a green realtor. I've been doing it for 2 years, but my green journey really started about 10 years ago when I had a tumor in my stomach. And I almost had cancer. I caught it right before it became cancerous. I was living in a toxic environment. I was in a toxic relationship, and everything showed up for me. Everything showed up on my skin. Everything showed up all around me. I was sick. I was not good. So I had to really take charge of my life, take charge of my health. And in learning how to do it for myself, it became such a passion for me. I'm also a Virgo, and I believe it's part of my dharma to live, to help, to save the earth, and to help people live in the most healthy way possible. So I started with small little steps with changing the types of products I was using. At the time, I was a fashion stylist in New York City, and I was actually working with eco and hemp designers at the time. So my journey really started then. I didn't know it would lead me to where I am now as a
Funny how that happens.
Yeah, it's all connected, and it's so amazing because I'm now as a biophilic feng shui interior designer as well. I have learned to incorporate a lot of the same fabrics that I use as a fashion stylist, but now in homes, but now building and using materials in people's homes that really help them live a more healthy lifestyle. I absolutely love what I do. It is a passion. It literally lives through me. I wake up in the morning, and for me, it's living a sacred ritual for myself and for the earth, and how I can really help my clients in all ways. I am here to educate them. A lot of people do not know anything about living in a healthy home. And when I introduce it to my clients, they're like amazed, and they're so excited. And Every time we close a deal, I send them a whole list of everything for their healthy home checklist. So I have a whole system that I use from start to finish with my real estate clients and my interior design clients. So we really go through the step. I really learn my clients and what their specific needs are, and I customize it based on who they are, because all of us need something different.
Very true. You can definitely hear the passion in your voice and how much you love doing this. And I'm going to come back to the relationship between you two, but Kari, give us a little interview overview of what you and Realty Sage are up to.
Yeah, I'm Kari Klaus, the founder of Realty Sage, and also the founder of Realty Sage Pros, the sister site that we started a few years ago, kind of the beginning of the pandemic. So it's had a very interesting start and transition through the pandemic. So Realty Sage started off actually as Viva Green Homes. And it was, again, we all start our little projects based on our own experience. And it was based on my own living situation in my home, saying I'd love to renovate my property and my home and make it as great as possible. And I went ahead and did that and said, whoa, I made it beautiful. I made it green and eco-friendly, energy efficient. And now I have a really big problem trying to market it and make sure that the sellers and the other buyers and the whole market understand what kind of property I have now, because it looks very much the same on all these other websites out there, just based off of pictures and the price. So how do we make a different kind of system out there? So Realty Sage is a different kind of real estate market that uses a Sage score, which helps to market properties based on their features, solar systems, energy efficiency, certifications, and helps give buyers a better understanding of the type of features that homes have and helps sellers market the properties more accurately. An offshoot of that was to say, hey, there's wonderful real estate agents like Ashley Rose and others out there, and they need a place too, because they're doing really wonderful work out there. And where do they get to showcase their skill sets and their understanding of how to market these properties when they're listing them? And how do they show buyers, here's a great property and this will make your new home and your experience much better. So we have Realty Sage Pros just for that. We have over 120,000 real estate agents across the country that are part of our database, and we're getting ready to expand to other types of professionals like architects, landscapers, interior designers like Ashley Rose and others, and we're really excited about that.
You going to include green home coaches?
Of course. Yes, we have all kinds of professionals and resources on the site.
No, I'm just teasing you. I love the fact that we've worked together for what, like 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah, you're on there, of course.
Oh my gosh. I know you were still at Viva Green Homes when we started working together. So.
Yeah. It's been a long journey, but it's always great to know all sorts of great people who are doing things like Marla and Sheridan and Allison and lots of women out there who are doing great things in the green industry and bringing them together.
And for those of you that may not recognize those names, we're actually a growing group of mainly women in different aspects of green homes. And many of those are trusted partners for Green Home Coach. So you can actually go to our trusted partners page on the Green Home Coach website and see a lot of these and connect with them. Many of you I have done podcasts with, so you can hear the podcast. And of course, this one will be added to that as well, because Kari, Realty Sage, has been a trusted partner for quite a few years now. And I'm really excited to have Ashley Rose coming into the family as well. So yay!
Thank you so much. Yes.
Just keep growing it. I know. And one of the things that we all are having in common and what we're hearing is there's a lot of women in the green field and healthier homes. Ashley Rose, why do you think there's just so many women that have connected with this?
I think a lot of women, there's this new trend of self-care, right? Mm-hmm. And it starts with how we take care of ourselves. Our first home is really our body. and then the earth, and then our physical home. But a physical home is our extension of who we are. And everywhere we go is really our home when we think about it.
Yep.
And for me, my practice and everything I do is rooted in my spirituality, is rooted in yoga. Yoga was really my foundation for it. I believe that women have a innate connection to themselves, that they allow themselves to fully understand who they are and take care of themselves. Men are not taught that. They're taught to take care of the woman. And I believe that there's a wave of men that are awakening at this time, and they are taking care of themselves. But it takes us to awaken that in them, and it takes us to see them as our equal and to see them as we're all one, to help each other grow and to help each other be more healthy. You know, I think everyone's understanding after COVID, our homes are very important, and the way that they make us feel is very important. And even men are now tapping into their emotions now. And I think that's the start of them getting to this place of, okay, we need to get there. But I also believe men are the foundation who actually build these for us. We have the idea, but they build it, right? And so in the interconnection of what that is, it's all connected, and we're all here to thrive. And it is our collective and individual responsibility to preserve and to tend to the environment in which we all live. So it is really our duty, all of our duties.
There's definitely something innate in women that just comes out with, maybe it's our nurturing side. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think here?
I think
For sure.
Ashley's onto something for sure. I think women and men, but I think women do feel like we sometimes get some intangible benefits of things, you know, the softer side of how things feel, you know, sometimes in our homes, you know, understanding the comfort level of a home is not as obvious to some people. And, you know, that's where, you know, understanding energy efficiency of a home comes down to understanding how comfortable it might be as well. And
isn't that the truth? I mean, so many people have missed that. They think energy efficiency is all about saving money or
well, it matters.
Fuel, and it does matter. But how do you relate it to us? Comfort. Hello. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, no, I mean, comfort matters a lot. I mean, there are a lot of people who go, oh my gosh, I walk into one room and it's so hot, and I walk in another room and it's freezing cold, and I drag my blanket around and I go, well, it's probably because you have a leaking window or leaking, you know, or you have bad airflow, or you have some problems in your house. Actually, you don't have a very energy efficient home, or you have a poorly designed house, or you have some issues, you know. And homes that are built well, built solidly, you know, those are homes that we're looking at as far as, you know, we talk about eco-friendly homes. Those are homes that are defined, you know, as also being comfortable because they have those energy efficiency features. So I want to, you know, to bring that to what Ashley is saying is that actually matters. You know, those things that kind of sometimes women might touch upon, those things that matter a little bit. We go, oh, yes, that matters to us. But, you know, that's why we might also focus a little bit more on those elements too sometimes. I don't want to always discredit men.
I know. And it takes a team. It definitely takes a team, but we bring different things to the team.
And I think what's interesting, and talk about the economics of green building, is that, you know, back in the day when I did my renovation, it wasn't financially a good idea to do it. You know, you added solar to your home, you weren't going to get your money back. You were doing it for the environmental reasons. You were doing it because you cared about the environment, you know. Now it makes more sense, right? You do the upgrades in your home, or you buy the home that's a net energy zero property because it makes also financial sense, right? So now we have the men who are more on board about this. There's more tangible costs associated with going with a green movement. And so now we can get kind of everybody on board, and it makes sense on all levels. So I just want to throw that in there, that I think now we're just coming to a kind of understanding on all levels that it makes sense for everybody to be going down this path.
And having it, so that's such an interesting way of thinking about it, Kari, because having it on all levels it's challenging. It is an intangible. How do you define comfort? How do you define what's healthier? And there are emerging definitions and understandings of it. Yet that's been something that's been in the works for quite a while. Whereas a utility bill, it's cut and dry. You see it. Here's the amount, it's something very tangible. So that intangibles has always been the hard part about helping people to understand a healthier, better home. But what's funny is if somebody walks into a healthier, better home and spends a little bit of time there and then walks into a traditional code built home, they will tell you they can't put their finger on what's different, but they know it's different. And one of the things I recommend to people that do build or work with better, healthier homes is give them a list of questions to go ask other people and to ask themselves about how they compare those homes. And that will help them to understand what these differences are. And it's not something the industry has adopted yet. And I think Realty Sage is a great way for people to segue into asking those questions. So tell us, so Kari, tell us a little bit more about how the process works and how you help people like Ashley Rose to work with their clients. And then Ashley Rose, I want to hear it from your side too.
Well, Ashley Rose just had a listing actually that we've had on our site, and she was able to sort of exemplify some of the features of the property using the site and getting a Sage score. And so you can add a listing to the site. It's free, and you can check box the different features that the property has, and you get a Sage score. But not only do you get a Sage score, it actually shows what the features mean. Does it mean it's more comfortable? Does it mean it's energy efficient or environmentally friendly? So it's not just a score. It actually tells you a little bit more about what that means for you. And it is a moving target to some extent. I mean, technology is changing, things are improving. So the score will continually evolve and things will happen. But, that is a great starting point to have more of an apples to apples comparison, because right now, it is really hard for people to understand, just like you've explained, Marla, what is the difference between one home versus another home. It's even hard to understand between one eco-friendly home and another eco-friendly home. I mean, Ashley can maybe be able to say, you walk into one home that's an Energy Star rated home and then a LEED certified home. And maybe the three of us would know what that might mean, but another person, would go, oh, well, I'll just take the Energy Star property. That one's $50,000 cheaper versus the LEED, gold certified property. And, I'll just take that one. And so we might go, well, hold on just a second. Let's go over the differences between these two and have to go and, and understand the differences of even that range of certification. Whereas the Sage score kind of helps do that apples to apples comparison, even among those certifications. So that gives you a little bit of idea of why the Sage score exists. It even helps to identify, the differences amongst eco-friendly properties, not just eco versus traditional built properties. And Ashley Rose is doing that in person on the ground, and I'm just doing it online.
It was really exciting to get my first listing up on Realty Sage. I was so excited, and I shared it with my client, and she actually did a lot of the renovations herself, her and her son. What we did is we sold them the property last year. They took a year to do everything, renewed everything. I had shared with them, when you guys are doing it, you should really look at more eco-friendly options. And they did. And I was so proud of them. I was like, yay, I love clients who actually are open and listen to it and they right away went in and they would ask me questions about, okay, do you think maybe this one or that one? And to see what they've done in a year and to actually walk in, one of the most important questions I ask my clients when they walk into a home is, how does it make you feel? Because at the end of the day, we are moved by our emotions. We are moved by the way something makes us feel. And one of the things when people walk into spaces that I have designed is they don't know exactly what I did, but they always say it feels different.
Yeah.
And I designed our real estate office with all biophilic design and also based on Feng Shui principles, adding all of the elements into the home. So to have a platform that I can actually showcase this is so important. When I found Kari, I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, yes. And we connected, and I just love her. I love what she is doing. And even though she's in Thailand, I feel such a deep connection to the root of where we are going and what we are building. And I know this is just the beginning of what we can do. And as a global real estate agent, a global green real estate agent, which is also even more important for the community, for the world, is that we have a global view as to the difference each of us can make. Because together, we are all in this together.
Oh, yeah.
And we all need the support of each other. And to have Kari on that side where I can actually, I have this vision that when we look at the MLS, that the MLS will have an option that for green homes. For green, I've called them, I've tried, but I will not give up. I will keep fighting until it gets on there somehow, that we can make it easier to find these types of homes. I take the time to search for these homes. I go to Realty Sage. Every time a client is asking me, in this town or in that town, do you have anything available? I always go there first. And I am just so thankful that you created this platform and to be part of the units and to be part of this movement that we are all so passionate about, for sure.
As successful real estate and home professionals, you know that education and information are key to your expertise. How can you help your clients connect what's really important to them with your homes? My How to Sell the Value of Green Homes and Features workshop will teach you and your team the basics of green, healthier, high-performance homes. Learn the benefits of healthier, green, and high-performance homes and features and how they tie to the health, safety, and comfort benefits our clients expect. Click the link below to book your workshop today.
That is super sweet. Well, thank you very much. And, I think Ashley Rose, if you haven't had a chance to look at her talent with staging and interior design, it is phenomenal, by the way. So take a look at it. It's amazing. So super impressed with her design, which I actually might just have to hire her even virtually to take a look at some of my issues that I got going on.
Oh, I love that. I'm coming to Thailand to see you soon.
There you go.
So speaking,
Finalize it.
But she suggested that we do this in person and just hop on over there.
So yeah, to that point, if you don't mind, I do want to talk about the kind of the global, expansion of talking about, real estate and the global eco-friendly movement that we have going on. I think, right now I'm kind of on a sabbatical. I'm in Thailand for a little while and I'm in Southeast Asia exploring. I want to talk about, Singapore as an example of something we talk about, biophilic design. I was in Singapore a number of years ago, and I think it's an inspiration to a lot of people that, even if you can't travel here, I get it. It's a long distance and maybe not the most environmentally friendly that everybody travels there. But I would definitely take a look at it, because one of the things that I think is inspiring is that it shows that it can be done. That, looking at eco-friendly design and biophilic design is not that far off. It can be done. We can take buildings, whether they are apartment complexes, even subsidized housing complexes, and make them beautiful and make them biophilic and make them livable and make them comfortable and make them amazing. And we can do this, and it's not totally impossible. And we can be inspired by that. And, I know that, not everything is possible. Singapore is a country that we can't model entirely and in a lot of different ways. Maybe we don't want to, but there's things that we can take inspiration from and say, let's try and model those things and understand that, we kind of get stuck in sort of like, yes, we get stuck with the MLS problems and not being able to address those, but we can take inspiration from other places around the world that are doing really cool things. So yes, and it's also about meeting people like Marla and Ashley and all these really cool people and being inspired by them too. So I always try and connect people and be inspired by people in places. So yeah,
that's what we get to do. I love it because I have literally friends all over the world now, and some of them I've never met in person, business friends, but it's a wonderful thing that we can do. And I love this sharing of ideas. And I follow a number of different newsletters and news outlets just to stay up on what's going on. But so I think here in the United States, we've got this Inflation Reduction Act coming this year. It's unrolling. Some of it's already out with the rules, and then a lot of it's coming, we hope, by summer. And one of the things, and Ashley Rose, this may help a lot with your clients too. I don't know how much you've been following it all, but this money is especially targeted towards low to moderate income people to help them make energy efficient, healthier upgrades to their homes. And some of them are quite generous. They haven't figured out how this is all going to happen transactionally. But that's been a big thing for a lot of people, is they're like, how do you justify it? So we tend to see luxury properties that are the ones that are out there. And of course, this has helped to feed this whole idea that healthier, better, greener homes must be expensive, which is not true. I repeat, people, healthier, better homes do not need to be more expensive. I have worked on habitat homes. I have worked on neighborhood stabilization homes. I've worked on low-income homes and multifamily projects, and bless you. And all of them are possible, right? I mean, it's scalable, right? But helping people to know this and to have the inspiration that you're talking about, Kari, is so, so important. So I'm so proud of what people like us are doing, and that we're just getting the word out there.
Yes, in Florida, we have a program called the Y Green program, which helps families be able to get energy efficient items in their home, and they don't have to pay for it until they sell the home. It's one of the most amazing programs, and we just closed on a property, and it didn't have hurricane windows or doors. And right away, I was able to introduce them to the Y Green program, and now they're considering all these other upgrades. So it was a start to get them to make their beauty. What the people have to understand is that you can't change the location, but you can always change the inside of the home. Yeah. So what happens is, what I'm finding in a lot of my clients is that they don't want to move from where they are. They want to retrofit. They want to redo their whole home. So they're literally gutting their whole home. They're doing it from scratch. And I'm able to give them a list of vendors, eco builders, eco everything. And they're starting from scratch, and it's a beautiful place to see the before and after. And, everyone wants everything to happen tomorrow.
Right.
It doesn't work. That doesn't work in this. Everything that's good takes time. And when you take your time and you do it the right way, you do it quick and fast, and that's what happens. Fast fashion, fast furniture, all these things that are really bad for our economy and for the environment, they're not sustainable. But these homes can last and can live beyond us, right? We want to build things that live beyond us, that we can move forward, we can pay it forward. And that's the vision, right?
I read this somewhere, and now I wish I could remember where, that our goal is to thrive, not grow.
I love that.
I do too. We're so bent on growth at any cost that we cut our nose off to spite our face sometimes. So, but thriving communities is what moves us forward. So hopefully we will continue to go in that direction. So Ashley Rose, I want to ask you real quick. So I think I know the answer to this, but just real quickly, was there any specific thing that inspired you to become like a NAR Green designee and an eco real estate agent?
So I think it was literally something that I had loved to do, and I was trying to combine all of my businesses. So at the time, I had my spiritual business during COVID, and because everything that happened, I had to pivot. And in pivoting, I was trying to figure out how I can always stay true to who I am and what I love to do. At the time, I grew up in a real estate office, actually, since I was a little girl. Since I was a little girl, my dad was a real estate agent, and we lived on top of the real estate office. And it was incredible to watch him. He's an amazing salesperson. I am not a salesperson. I don't sell homes. I change people's lives. But in watching my dad, he's so great. And everything that I learned, he's really my inspiration. He is everything to me. And he told me when I decided to do real estate, he said, I'm so proud of you because that is when you were a little girl. He told me I used to go to open houses with him and I would help him set up and stage the homes as a little girl. I didn't know I did that. So when
It's a long time.
yeah. So it was something when we look at work as play, right? We are really here to play. And when we make it fun, we don't work a day in our lives because it's literally what we love to do.
Yeah.
And within hearing those stories that he would share with me, I started to figure out how I wanted to create my business and how I wanted it to all work together. So I made sure that I added all of my spiritual practices into homes. So I go into homes now and I'm able, as a Reiki master, I go in and I infuse the Reiki energy into the corners of the home. And I also bring my sound healing bowls, which help synergize the music in the homes. And within that, I started to think about how I can incorporate the green journey that I've been on in fashion, but in homes. So I started to look up what it would be to have sustainable fabrics. And as I started to design, a lot of my design and my inspiration comes from Brazil. I did a lot of my training with the U Green University in Brazil, and they are so much way advanced in the green building there that I'm just so thankful to have these teachings and to have them and incorporate them as a whole. So not only as a green realtor, but also as a green interior designer and to help my clients in all ways. So I don't allow myself to sit in a box where I only can do one thing when all of these things actually work together. And in synergy and in harmony, this is what I aim to create for my clients and to help them feel that in all ways. Because when we think about living green and healthy, there's so many aspects to it that I just want to help my clients figure out what that is for them and where they have to start. Because for me, my start was in just taking a leap of faith and in following my passion and my heart. When we listen to our heart leads us to exactly where we want to go. And I continue to let that be my guide, my heart and my dad.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Amazing.
So we have the heart side, and then there's this practical side too, right? That the market's changing so much. And Kari, I know you see this at a different level than I probably do. Can you give us just kind of how this whole heart thing is tying into the market shift right now?
Well, I just wanted to actually say I love that Ashley Rose just showed why I started my company.
Yeah, totally.
You showed everybody why Realty Sage Pros exists, because you go above and beyond, just selling a home. There are millions of real estate agents out there, and they do a lot of them do a really good job of selling a home. I get it. I've been there and I get it. But then there are people who go above and beyond, and they really want to go above and beyond and understand much more than just the market, the price, the, home inspections. They want to understand the lifestyle of their clients. They want to understand so much more about the properties and who they're working with, and really make sure that the properties are for, environmental reasons and all sorts of good things. And you just exemplified why we have Realty Sage Pros and why we try and match people based on, what their lifestyles are. So I really appreciate appreciate your story and sharing that with everybody, because you are one of our Realty Sage pros for South Florida. So when people come to the site through Marla, they can go ahead and find you there. And the same thing through the rest of the country. They can find other wonderful agents, similar to Ashley Rose, maybe not quite, there's no other Ashley Rose out there. But other agents who are green and who care just as deeply about their clients and finding them the proper home that meets their lifestyle. So I really appreciate that, sharing that story about what it really means, to go the extra mile for people.
Thank you. That is so true. And for any of you that are looking to buy or sell a home, please check out Realty Sage. And every single builder or person that I work with that has a home that stands out from a traditional code built home, that's one of the first places I send them. Even in Oklahoma, we actually have quite a few energy efficient homes here. So that's reassuring that we're at least starting the journey, even though this is a state that has adopted some things a little slower than others, but that's okay. We're each on our own journey, right? But so as we're starting to wrap up, Kari, I wanted just to get really quick your kind of worldview of how this impact, thinking more about better, healthier, greener homes, is impacting the market and what you're seeing. And you have such a different perspective, I think, being more global, how that's all tying in.
Well,
maybe not.
It's interesting. I mean, that's a very big question.
Summarized.
Summarized very succinctly. It is really fascinating what's happening globally. I mean, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, it was during the pandemic, so everything's a little fuzzy what year it was actually. I was a judge for USGBC Lead for Homes, and we got to take a look at homes all around the world and judge them and take a, and see what's happening globally. And it was so much fun to see. And I love seeing how different countries incorporate, their lifestyle, and how they live differently. Obviously, dealing with tropics is differently than, when you live in a colder climate, and how you have to build the homes differently and adapt to that. But I also understand that, different parts of the world unexpectedly are really pushing much more eco-friendly homes, and they're really incentivizing people to, go solar. And it is amazing. I mean, I've lived in Mexico, and, you think, okay, well, how advanced are they with going solar? Well, they're starting to really push solar in Mexico. Well, they have got a lot of sunshine there too. Yeah. So you get kind of excited to see that, places around the world are really, pushing the envelope and really trying to make that move. In Europe, they are a bit more advanced than places more advanced than the United States. They want to make sure that homes that are resold are getting energy efficiency as part of their home inspections, so that buyers know how energy efficient the homes are. Why aren't we doing that? That's a question that people are asking. Why aren't we mandating that? And so I think, the question globally is, I think we're at different paces. I think we can be doing better in the United States. I think we're doing okay in some places in the United States and other places. Yeah. And then you look at places like Singapore and you're like, whoa, this is just the most amazing place, doing a lot of really cool things as far as architecture and biophilic design. And then you also hope that places like where I'm in Thailand, you want to see a little bit more improvement. You want to see more solar, you want to see more energy efficiency. But to that extent, I've now lived in two very, very expensive places for electricity. Mexico and in Thailand, it is very expensive for electricity. So you have a very good reason not to overuse the air conditioning and the lighting. So, it goes both directions on that. So yes, maybe, we can improve, some of the efficiency of the buildings, but you also, if the utilities also cost a lot, they're not being subsidized so much, then you also have a reduction in usage too. So I don't know if that's a very succinct answer, but I wanted to give you kind of a broad answer.
No, that's a good answer. It's a great answer.
there's a lot of things happening everywhere. And I think it's just good to understand that we can take some inspiration and we can also make some improvements.
Well, yeah, that's so true. And so April, we're recording this in April, just put a pin in it, which is Earth Day month for, is that global or is it just in the United States? I should know the answer to that question. But this is a month when a lot of us are focused on more of our eco-friendliness. We're focused more on our relationship with the earth. And I've heard it so strong from you, Ashley Rose, is that what you do in your teachings, and I know that this is buried in Realty Sage's DNA as well, is that this connection between people's health and the community's health, the world's health, is something that we have to honor and we have to pay attention to. And we haven't for a long time. That tie between the two hasn't. So as we move into Earth Day, I hope that all of you listening out there will honor that tie and that, this whole thing, it's all related. Like you said, Ashley Rose, we're all interconnected and we break one part of that chain and it has repercussions. And sometimes it makes my heart heavy because there's a lot of repercussions, but there's hope. And you two are two bright faces of hope. So thank you for being that. So as we're wrapping up, and thank you for all your wonderful, wonderful insights. Oh my gosh. Give me one piece of advice that you would like to leave or one parting thought as we're wrapping this up. And listeners, we will make sure to post all the resources that we've talked about on the show notes. So you'll have a link to go to all the things that we've been mentioning. So don't worry about if you heard it too fast. But anyway, back to parting thoughts. How about you, Ashley Rose? What's your parting thought or advice you'd like to leave?
My parting thought is that we as a collective really lean into the technology that we have in our hands, that we lean into using, ChatGPT and using, I'm also a crypto agent and metaverse agent where we are creating in the metaverse, but also in real life. And it starts starting green can even be on the internet, right? And we're greening everything in our life. When we think about we can create something so magical with technology and then actually create it in real life. I have a big project that I'm working on for a healing center and designing this healing center with all sustainable materials, as well as designing it first digitally, creating the 3D form of it to then make it tangible. And I want to inspire everyone to really not be afraid or fear what this technology can do for us. Let it work for you. Let it work and inspire you to create magic, to do amazing things in this world. We are here to create. We are here to build new systems. We don't have to continue with these systems that clearly are not working. We are here to create new systems. So if there's anything that I can leave you with is for you to be inspired by your heart, be inspired by what leads you and how you can create change in the green community for yourself, your life, and for others.
Well said. Okay, Kari.
I definitely think that, the real estate market can be scary right now. There's a lot of people who are wondering what to be doing right now. Should I buy, sell, stay put? What is going on? And, I think, whatever you decide is the right decision. Honestly, if you decide to stay and renovate your property, go green. That's not going to be a bad decision at the end of the day. Decide to renovate your property, make the right choice, put in energy efficiency features in it. At the end of the day, whatever you do, when you make a sustainable decision, it's going to be the right choice. So if you buy a property that's going to be an eco-friendly property, it's going to be the right choice. You're going to have a good outcome. If you sell your property and you've got eco-friendly features, you're going to end up having a better resale value. So I want to make sure that people understand that, when you really do emphasize the green elements to it, it's a long-term value, and that, there's a lot of indecisiveness with the real estate industry, but that is a core part of keeping the real estate industry or keeping the real estate value is making sure it's a green property. It helps to maintain the value and keeping you happy and healthy in your home.
Beautiful. And mighty listeners out there, you've got 3 experts here that can help you in different aspects. And if you can't figure out who to start with, just call me and I will help get you to the right people. I cannot thank you enough for coming on the Everyday Green Home podcast today. And I hope you will share this with all of your audiences as well, because I love to expand our universe and make it as big as we can. So thank you so much. And everyone have a great green day, and we'll see you next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That wraps this episode of the Everyday Green Home Podcast. Get the show notes with all the resources mentioned in this episode. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an episode. Want more? Join the Love Your Everyday Green Home private Facebook group for more resources and behind-the-scenes insights. And remember that living a little better and greener is easier than you think.